Going to be having a discussion with a very, very interesting person, Mr. P, and we're going to be talking about education. We'll be talking about redesigning public education in Nigeria. Mr. P, it's a pleasure to have you on the show today, on the program today. And before we started, guys, we were watching a YouTube video on how schools make kids dumb. You know, what's your takeoff from that video?
Well, that video was it was a revelation about the Finland model. They do things differently from most parts of the world, and they are getting results. I think we should look at that model much closely. Basically, what the video was saying was we need to identify areas where we can improve the system based on the individual or the culture or the particular group that you're dealing with. You know, tailored education, so to speak. And I think it works.
How well do you think we can apply or adapt that model to the Nigerian education system as it is currently?
Well, the Nigerian educational system is based on a colonial system. But I think it's rigid. It's rigid in the sense that the way it's applied leaves a lot of students behind, and in certain cases, I think it have a negative effect on the confidence of students to learn and to become better human beings. So I think there's a lot of work. We have a lot of work. We can apply some of that, some of the lessons learned from that system. But I think our system needs to be revamped based on our own cultural and based on certain experiences that are local to our own experience. So I think, but just the way that system is designed for them, and it works. There's certain statistics that they quoted that that is not common to other countries. So based on those statistics, they were able to design a system that is more productive for their students. So I think we need to do the same.
Good one. Yeah. Guys, if you don't know about the Finland school system, Finland is ranked as one of the best school systems in the world. They actually rank as second in the world, and they produce top grade results around the world. You can check out Finland's education system. And right here, we're looking at how we can improve our education system. Mr. P, Nigeria here, public school systems here. We have schools that are grossly overpopulated sometimes. We have a lot of kids who are intelligent, but the school does not cater to their needs. Do you have specific ideas or methods we can apply to help solve that?
In the Nigerian system, that's why I said, we have to look at, where we are. No matter the system that you bring into Nigeria, no matter the methods, the educational innovation or whatever you might talk about, the system itself is the problem. The system we need a systemic change in this country, first of all.
By the system, are you talking government?
Yes, specifically, yes, we do, because we're talking about a government that pays little attention to results. We do a lot of things. I'm sure Lagos State government ahead is trying to do a few things to help the underserved communities better educate, the young ones. But the system itself needs we need a much broader approach before we start talking about innovation. I don't think the system as is conducive for any new way of doing things or productive way. I just think it needs a systemic approach completely. It needs to be overhauled.
Fantastic. I remember one of the days we had conversations. Yeah. We talked about employing a Nigerian graduate to do a job, and you ended up doing the job by yourself, and that person was supposed to be a graduate.
An
An English major?
graduate. So that's my point.
How did you react to that? Did that make you lose hope in the Nigerian education system, or what did you really?
That was it was a revelation, and it pretty much tells you, where we are. So there's a need for accountability. There's a need for a lot of things, but basically, to start with, I think we need to look at the system that's in place. How we can improve that system so we can bring better programs. So if you have the best programs and the system is corrosive, or the system is not prepared to make those changes work, it will be self-defeating. So I think we need this. Our public educational system is in shatters.
Better programs. If you were to start a school, what program will you run in your school? How will your own school be set up?
Well, the programs will not necessarily be different.
What kind of content will you have in your school?
Well, the first thing will be the culture. I will establish, the culture.
By culture, what culture are you talking about here?
Well, the way the school is run. The way the school is run, what you expect from your employees, what you expect from the teachers, and what you want to, the values that you want to instill in the students. So those have to be a process. There have to be things in place that will further the objective that you're trying to do. So the first thing I think is the culture. There's a lot of things I will do. First of all, there will be no corporal punishment.
No corporal punishment?
None. No corporal punishment in school. So I prefer dialogue with the students. If they do something wrong, or if they're negligent, or kids are going to be kids. So I prefer dialogue,
Those are some of the specific things you are going to
no
put
corporal
in
punishment,
your...
because I've heard a lot of students, a lot of kids come from school and say, my teacher beat me. There's no need for that. That undermines I know our culture, that's something that we used to do, but there are certain parts of our culture that if it's not productive, we're looking at results. We can look at kids from all over the world. It's better to engage, so you hit the kids and they really don't know why they did wrong, other than they're not supposed to do that, and that when you do that you're going to hit them. So when you're not looking, when that threat is not there, they probably go back to doing the same thing. So I think it's better to make them understand why they are not supposed to do this, or why they're supposed to do this. So it's you have to beat that drum. I think that would give them a better foundation, moving forward, as far as knowing what they need to do.
Better foundation.
Yes,
I want you to be more specific. If you were going to start a curriculum, design one, what foundational programs or courses will you put, for example, in?
Well, all the basic courses are going to be there because they're necessary for the way the system is set up: maths, English, current affairs, and all that. But critical thinking, and then it depends on the level. If you're talking about primary level, critical thinking is one thing I will add into it, and then and how will you implement that? In the Finnish model, we see that they increased the playing time, or the time that students socialize with each other more. It's like 75 minutes, I think, compared to 20-something minutes in other cultures. And we see the results in the metrics where they stand in world education as far as compared to other world.
You think more playing time?
Not necessarily more playing time, but the social interaction. When you talk about, when you say, for instance, critical thinking, how would you get that? You will not get that under a structured environment, and you just learning math and stuff like that, which you could. But I think to make that more a part of their learning process, you can look for ways to put that. When you talk about playing, they play in organized sports, soccer, whatever it is that they're doing. So I think that interaction will probably will help. Critical thinking in the primary level, that's something I will look into more.
Okay. Are you familiar with the 21st century skills, learning skills? Skills such as communication, creativity, critical thinking, as you said. those kind of skills?
We should be able to teach that from at the primary level. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, I think we should pay more attention.
Teach them more upfront, not subtle. More
teaching them like kids, like they don't know what, you know. That I think our culture here pretty much relegate kids to like they don't know what they're doing or they're not intelligent. I mean, that's why we hit them. We do that. I think that is it is a diminishing return. You know, we need to uplift them. You know, so we want them to understand the power that they have, which I think they do. But in certain ways, our culture is kind of it suppresses that. So I think we should let that. We should empower them to use those to use their intelligence instead of trying to suppress it.
We're talking about intelligence now.
Yes.
Are you familiar with some young people, kids, who might be intelligent outside the school, but in the school system, they really don't function optimally? What solution can you prefer to that kind of situation where a person or a child, maybe on the sports ground, he's excellent in the classroom, he's closed up?
Well, everybody has something to offer. So if you're a teacher, and that's understanding. If you're a teacher and you are teaching, or you're a school, your duty is to educate the kids. If the kids is not getting the education that's necessary for them to prepare or to get to achieve their goals, then you're not doing a good job. You understand what I'm saying? So everybody has something to offer, you know. So it might not be in math, it might be in literature, it might be in other fields. So that is the whole point. Why we have schools is to see how you can prepare this person to be the best version of themselves. So that might not be a doctor, it might not be, you know. So but the fact is everybody has something to offer. So how do we extract that value? You see what I'm saying? So that's why I said we have to tailor our educational system to fit our culture or the realities that we are dealing with currently. So every kid has something to offer. So and that's why you have a school to sit down and see how you can extract that value from that individual. So I believe every kid, that's why I say they're intelligent, but sometimes because of our society, we undermine their intelligence. You understand what I'm saying? Because of certain cultural opodrum, I would say. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, if it's not working, if it's not yielding results, then, you know, maybe it's time to do something different.
You think our education system is not working? It's not yielding results?
Well, if we look at, I think there's a talent deficit in this town. You understand what I'm saying? There's a talent deficit, and that one of the reasons for that is not just education. Let's not just blame the teachers. I think the general narrative, people these days don't really look at education like when I went to school. That's the ladder. That's how you're going to climb up the ladder. You know, to become somebody, to become successful.
So education was the key way back.
It was a key back then.
There's a popular saying amongst the kids nowadays. They say, our parents told us education was the key, but when we finished school, we found out the lock had been changed.
Exactly.
So education is no longer the key.
So it's a systemic change. So as much as I cannot just blame the schools, the teachers, you know, because they are within a system. You know, they're functioning within a system that is really not working, to say the least. You understand what I'm saying?
It's like not working or not relevant to the current situation.
It's not working. That's why there's chaos all over the place. If you look at what we have here, the brain power in this town is enormous. You understand what I'm saying? You know, but things are not working. You see what I'm saying? Not just education, everywhere, and it's relative. You understand what I'm saying? So the teachers, they're trying to do what, you know, they have their own challenges, and they are just working with the rules that are in place. They didn't create the rules. So the narrative, like you just spoke, young people, they no longer view education as that important, because everybody wants to make money. You know, basically that's what it is. You know, so the best path to get to that money seems to be anything other than education. Just a few. But there are other, you know. So let's not just use one.
Talking about kids wanting to make money.
Yeah.
what's your opinion of the current trend of many young people choosing to do fraud, advanced fee fraud, internet fraud, to make money at the expense of their own education or future?
Yeah, but you see, we can look at it simplistically. Say, okay, they are doing fraud, or they are doing this, they are doing that. These young kids these days, they are facing a different challenge that I did not face. You understand?
Challenges,
you know, the economy. The economy is in shambles as far as they're concerned. If you look at the unemployed, if you look at the youth unemployment in this country, the numbers are astronomical. So when there are no opportunities, okay, you know, and so it's a desperate move. You know, yes, we know it's not right. They are underselling themselves, you know, because they could be doing something much more beneficial for them and for society to get into school or whatever their profession.
So you say we shouldn't outrightly blame them for doing the wrong thing?
No, because I mean, there's a lot of kids doing the right thing. Don't get me wrong. You know, they bear some blame, but we also have to understand the pressure that they are on, the challenges that they are facing. There's no work. There's no work, and you know, they have to, you know, some of them, we know some of it is just youthful exuberance, or just the social media. They're looking at all these luxury items and all that stuff on social, in the music videos, and they want to have the same things. There's nothing wrong with that, you know. But you know, I wish that because they're highly intelligent. If you see what they're doing, even in that fraud, in that what do you call that, Yahoo, this thing, it takes brains to go into the computer and go and maybe access corporations anywhere in America, anywhere in the world, and be able to generate funds. You understand what I'm saying? That's intelligence, you know, that I think can be better used in other places if the system was different. So they are highly intelligent people. I think what they're doing, as far as they're concerned, doing what is necessary, you know. But you know, they can channel that. They will be better served if they channel that energy into legitimate business enterprise.
If the school system is designed to cater to their unique needs and talents, you think they won't go into internet fraud?
Well, I don't think just is the school system, because even, you know, Nigerians are very ambitious people. Let's be, that's something about us you have to understand. I've been around. You know, Nigerians are highly ambitious people, so they want the good life. They want a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? Even if the school system is different. Let's assume the school system is churning out, you know, talent and well-skilled, you know, people. If the economy, look at the situation. You see, that's what I'm saying. There's a systemic change necessary. If there's no job, you know, you have graduates from schools and whatever, and there's no jobs, and you know, they have to deal with a whole lot of other things. I still think they will go there.
You still think they will go there?
Yes, I still think because if there is no job, because of the economy, number one, and because we are highly ambitious people. That's just who we are.
Don't you think if they got education that could cater to their talents, they will be more creative and create solutions rather than go the fraud route?
Yes, but you see, to be more creative and create solutions, first of all, you know, how are they going to do that? You know, and this one of the things, whatever I'm talking about, to start a business in this town is very hard. You see what I'm saying? To get credit, all you have is predatory lending all over the place. So we are
predatory lending.
Yes. The interest rate is very high. You know, so where do they start from? You see what I'm saying? Some of these guys, you know, they barely made it through school. You know. So what I'm saying is, the situation is, you know, if they're without employment, without any other mechanism in place, you understand what I'm saying, for them to be able to do things, you know, legally, you know, they're going to look the other way.
So it goes beyond just redesigning the school program.
I don't think they're bad kids.
The society,
I just think, everything,
economy,
it is.
values.
Because if they were in America or in the Western world, the majority of them will not be doing that. You see what I'm saying? Because the system provides mechanisms, ladders for them by which they can do whatever they want to do.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
On a quick note, Is there a final word, a summary? What would you like my viewers to take away? What would you like viewers to take away from this talk? What one or two things are you going to give to them as takeaway from it?
Well, we can. The question is when we talk about these problems, or so what the question is, what are we going to do about it? What I'm saying? Yeah, what are we going to do about it? I believe the conversation is a good start. I think Nigeria is, we are full. We're full of, a lot of brilliant people. So we need to find a way to be able to create a community, whereby we can see individually what we can do in our own locality, in our own immediate surrounding. What can we do to help these kids in our own little, in our home or in your compound or on your street? What can you do? It's not necessarily about money. You can just come there if you have conversations with the kids, with the parents. I think from there we can, begin to see how we can move forward.
Okay, thank you. Guys, I didn't introduce Mr. P at the beginning, but I want you to know that he's a professional problem solver. That's what he does for a living, the professional problem solver. And I'm sure that in time he will come up with some solutions to some of these problems we're facing in our society. Might help the whole world, might help society at large, but let's all be problem solvers. Let's not all just be problem and complainants. Let's find solutions to problems. And thank you for watching, guys. I'm Henry again. Thank you for watching. Please drop your comments below, whatever you take away, what you feel we should add, what you think is wrong, your reactions to the. Please drop your comments. Thank you for watching and stay edified. Thank you very much.